And today we are starting with open service in Brewers Cup. Before I do that, I would like to thank our sponsors cordially, and you'll be hearing a lot more of these sponsors as these few days go past. Head of all is La Mazzocco. Thank you very much, La Mazzocco. Matza Grinders, of course, here. We have Kaffeothek, and we have Salzburg Milch, and we have Brita for the water sponsor. And there'll be many more to come that I will tell you. But right now, we're ready to go. And we have on stage the reigning Austrian Brewers Cup champion, Martin Wölfl. He has just returned from Australia, from Melbourne, where he competed at the world stage. And now, a few weeks later, he's here in Salzburg, ready to take the stage as our first competitor. And that means we are ready for our judges. Judges, please, come down. And this year, we have Tom, Raymond, Björn,
good morning. Hi, nice to meet you.
John, the head judge. And
thank you.
So, there you go.
So, check the sound. Can you hear me? Yes, okay. I can't hear myself, but okay. Fine. I feel comfortable. Everything good? The audience can hear me as well? Sounds good, okay. So, can I ask you for the music, please? Whoever is. Oh, timekeeper, are you ready? Yeah? Okay. Time. Good morning, judges. My name is Martin, and it's a real pleasure for me brewing my coffee for you today. For me, a barista is the one who brings the story of the coffee to life, so guests can experience the taste in its fullest form. So today, I would love to take you on the journey with me and show you everything my coffee has to offer. And please feel free to take exposure at 1,729 meters. This less sun exposure will result in a more complex cup of coffee. That just 1 hectare big farm was run by Joana Salvadora Barrientos and her husband, organically and with a nature-based approach. At this small farm, all the coffee trees are still growing wild and without any fertilizer. Unfortunately, Joana passed away this year, so it's such a big honor for me to bring her last harvest here for you today. The coffee I'm brewing is a Kenya variety. The story says that the rich farmer went hunting in Africa and brought back seeds to El Salvador. In 1950, when the farmer ripped out the variety, Joana's husband took a chance on the discarded plants and planted the trees on Finca Joana. That means that the trees of the coffee I'm brewing today are older than 72 years. These old trees has an extensive root system and are growing with a special bending technique, which creates multi-vertical trees from just over 1 tree. So these trees will result in a more complex cup of coffee and will bring more of this red and blueberry fruity notes we'll taste today. And due to this story, the original called the variety Kenya variety, but no one has ever investigated the genetics from these seeds. The Kenya variety was processed from Rodolfo Rofati Battle from Productor Coffee with a 120 hours cherry maceration. After picking, the whole cherries go straight into sealed bags. The cherries are staying in the juice, and every few hours the bag gets flipped so that the juice and the cherry get moved and mixed to get a more uniform taste profile. Within these 5 days, an enzymatic transfer of aroma will take place. So all the aromas from the skin will be transferred into the beans, and this will bring the rum raisin and dried plum notes we will taste when the coffee cools down today. And afterwards, the coffees were placed on raised beds for 2 weeks to get more sweetness into the cup. But now it's time to bring this coffee to our cups. Today, I'm preparing my coffee with the Grey Gano coffee dripper, and I'm reheating them to get fully control over the brewing, the temperature during my brews. The Grey Ganos are made out of aluminium with a special coating and a cork sleeve. Due to the low heat capacity of the aluminium, the dripper fastly reaching a high temperature and maintaining it throughout the whole process. so I can intensely accentuate the lovely berry fruity notes. The spiral form and the ribs of the Gregano helps me to get a higher extraction rate. Today, I'm aiming for extraction rate of 20% in a brew time of 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Today, I'm using a 1:15 brew ratio, starting with 18 grams of ground coffee to 270 milliliters, 93 degrees water. I'm using this brew ratio to promote the berry and fruity notes we will taste from the natural process. I will let my bloom sit for 40 seconds to make sure that all the ground coffee gets saturated. Afterwards, I'm dividing my pour into 3 stages with pulses between 50 and 100 milliliter to get a more complex body and lovely acidity. Together with Sieberist, I designed a special filter paper, which gives me the possibility to have a faster flow rate and fully control over the flow during my process. So I can dose up the coffee and grind it way finer than I usually would. And this will bring a more vibrant and juicier cup of coffee. The water I'm using is aqua cold water with 85 ppm. I'm using this water to get a clearer and more balanced cup of coffee. I roasted this coffee on a 100-gram roast sampling roaster for 6 minutes and 10 seconds and a development time of 30.2%. To get a good balance between all these lovely flavors we will find and control the lovely acidity. I will brew my last step with a temperature of 88 degrees and a faster central pour to get a well-structured aftertaste and promote the lovely acidity we will find in our cups. I ask you now to please write down the taste profile we will find in our cups today, starting with the aroma. The aroma is really beautiful. We see these macerated strawberries, ripe gooseberries, and raspberry. The flavors are very complex. When hot, we will see the strawberry, gooseberry, and sour cherry. Between hot and cold, this will turn to hibiscus, dark cherry, and 90% dark chocolate. And when cold, we will see this rum raisin, dried plum, and this morning I found cacao nibs. The aftertaste is long and sweet. We see these cherry notes when hot, and red winey notes when cools down. Coffee is a gift for all our senses, and when it comes to a perfect coffee experience, all our senses get stimulated at once. So I created, together with my friend and artist, Paloma, these flavor wheels, which are just in front of you, which shows the complexity of the cane varieties in colors. I would invite you to please take it afterwards backstage with you and have a look before evaluating each category. I will first serve the carafe to just access the aroma. So please swirl the carafe afterward 3 times and lift it directly to your nose. Are you ready for that? Okay. Here we go. Please enjoy the aroma. Please enjoy the aroma. And for you as well, gentlemen, please enjoy the aroma. Please take your time while I prepare your cups. Moving on. The body of this coffee is again very complex. It's soft, sleek, and smooth when hot, and juicy like a cherry juice when cools down. It's a well-balanced, well-structured, and complex cup of coffee. I designed and created these cups to create a unique drinking experience. So these cups will change the flow velocity of our coffee and influence the point of impact on our tongue. So these cups will result in a more complex cup of coffee and promote the lovely acidity. When hot, please evaluate each category with a cupping spoon, and when cold and warm, drink directly from the cup. When you're evaluating my coffee today, I have just one little request for you. Take one look at the flavor wheels, one sip of the coffee, and just close your eyes for a few seconds. Think about the Kenya variety and its unknown history. Think about how much passion and hard work was put into it. And think about Joanna. This variety was her lifetime project. The taste from exactly this brew, from exactly this roast, and exactly this moment is ephemeral and will fade away. So I hope you can save this moment forever like I did. It was a pleasure for me. Thank you, and please enjoy. This is my time.
Thank you very much, Martin. And when you have a second,
Yeah, sure.
please
sure,
step
sure.
over here so we'll talk to you a little.
For you also.
So Martin, you've just returned from the world stage. How did it feel to compete in front of the whole world in Brewers Cup?
I mean, it's amazing to represent your country and yeah, to show what you practiced weeks and months before. And yeah, it's always nice to be with so many nice people around from everywhere from the world and share the passion. And I think that's what everyone is connecting each other. It's the coffee, and it's just amazing to share this passion with the world. And yeah, it was great.
So how did it feel today?
Today, yeah, amazing. I mean, I really love all these, like, as I said before, when I jump into it, you feel like a small gladiator in the middle of the stage in here. But yeah, it's great to brew in front of Austria again. Yeah.
Was the coffee you served today similar to the one you had on the world stage, or was it different?
No, it was the same coffee.
Okay, makes sense.
It's oh yeah, sorry for that. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's the same coffee, different roastings, different water. I changed a bit of that, but yeah, I wanted to improve it even more, and I saw some possibilities to make it more better than
even better. Than
yeah,
it was.
learning from the world.
So
and
this
brew it
coffee
again,
judges is even better than at the world stage. So you're truly
Yes,
blessed.
for sure,
So
yeah.
thank you very much.
Just a second, Oliver.